sweet memories barbecue sauce.
This is the mixture that we made earlier with the machine. As you can see, it levitated very well. And now we begin the second phase. We go from the first levitation to the second. For a pan of this size, this is roughly 30 centimeters. Yeah, it's roughly 30 centimeters by 20. 30 by 20. We use a mixture like the ones that we made, so 500 grams of flour. What we want to do for the second phase is fold the mixture first. I will simply release the air from the mixture, just like this. It has no more air. And then what we want to do is fold it, taking 4 lambs. So 1 lamb here, 1 lamb here, 1 lamb here and here. And we have created this fagotto that then we flip around, turn like this, we bring it back to a ball's shape. As you can see, underneath there is this closure, and this will help to levitate even more. So then we can put it back inside the magic levitation box. We close it and we let it sit for another 30 minutes. This time I will put you inside the magic levitation box. Be careful not to rise yourself. Bye bye. Hello, so it's been 30 minutes and now we are ready for the third levitation. So what you want to do is be very careful and gentle with it. So we are going to set this aside for a few seconds and we are going to do something. We will now take our tray that we use and a cup of olive juice with a paintbrush. This is specifically for kitchen, but you can use any paintbrush as well. You can use any paintbrush as long as you didn't use it for painting or anything. Or you can use your hands. Now what we will do is create a diamond shape on our pan, avoiding the corners. Why we do this? We do this because we put the oil so that the focaccia does not stick when we cook it. We do not put the oil in the corners so that when we have to stretch it inside the pan, the corners of the focaccia will be able to stick and stay here. Now I will show you. So we have done this, we put it aside, we take our focaccia and being very careful, we flatten it out into a rectangle. Now you have to be very careful because if you manipulate it too much, it becomes stiff and it's harder to flatten. and stretch. It will resist more. Okay, now it's done. So I will take it. This is the pan from before. As you can see, I'll put it here. And the corners of the dough don't have any oil underneath them. Therefore, when we are ready to stretch this dough along the whole pan, here there will be no oil, so the dough will be able to stick to it and remain in that shape. Okay, but that's for later. Now we are ready with this and we want to cover it. So I'm using this plastic film, but what I do, because I do not want it to stick to the dough, is I just sprinkle some flour on it. And flip it. I put it in the oven off for 30 minutes. So, now we are waiting for the third levitation. While we do that, we can create the brine, or as we call it, the salamoia. This is a mixture of water and salt that we will then put on the surface of the focaccia, which I will explain later. So, to do this, you need 200 ml of water. And for 200 ml, you need roughly 10 grams of salt. Basically, we will create a mixture that is of water that has completely saturated salt. That's 10 grams. And you mix it until all the salt is dissolved. Bada boom! There you have it, very simple. Okay, so now the third levitation is done. And this is the result. So we want to be very careful with it, because the more you touch it, the more tough it becomes. And what we want to do now is stretch it, ironing. It's saying it in Italian we say iron it, like iron. So we want to stretch it. So we want to bring the corners here and on the sides. So what you can do is lift it up like so, so that you're not pulling only on the corner but sort of the entire area, like that. And because we did not put oil in this region, as you remember, it is easier for the dough to stick in these areas. And we want to create a border, because as you will later on see, as we will do actually right now, we will go by adding on the surface the brine, the mixture of salt and water that we made earlier, and olive oil. And then we will begin by making divots, making holes in the dough. And because we are adding a mixture of water, we don't want this mixture to end up underneath the focaccia. So we want to make sure that everything is sealed properly and that the water cannot end up inside, underneath. Okay, so then you take your olive oil, and this is very much done by eye. The more you do this, the better your eye will be. But it is an abundant amount of olive oil. And then the salt and water mixture, and I tend to add about a little less than 100 milliliters. But again, this is all, you have to gauge yourself. Now the mixture is on. You want to spread it around. That. And then you want to take your two hands, beginning at the very end, and start making impressions. You make it, you slide back. And you push it forward as you do it. Push forward, slide back, and then again. And then you do the same over here. There you have it. Now, this water mixture and oil, what it will do is when it's in the oven and when it's cooking, the water will impede these holes here to cook. So this area here that is in relief, this will cook and will turn golden and crunchy, while the inside here will remain raw, and so it will remain very soft and moist, and it will have a salty taste. So it's very nice. So that's why we do this. So you want to make sure that there is enough water for those areas to remain raw, uncooked. So now what I like to do is shake the pan a bit so that the water gets into all the holes. That's good. And now we have to set this for the fourth levitation, which takes 2 whole hours. I will place mine over here in the oven. Like this, and we will wait now for 2 whole hours. So it's been 2 hours and here is the result. As you can see, it grew very much, and now we will have to proceed by putting it in the oven. Now the oven, you want to select an option that is static, so no fan or grill, static option, and the heat must be at 230. Once the oven is hot, we will put the focaccia inside. Okay, now the oven is warm and ready. So we take our focaccia. I like to put it not too high, so a bit lower than usual, and we leave it in for 15 minutes. So Now we are 15 minutes later, and here is the result. What you want to do immediately is lift it out and prop it up like this so that it dries underneath and it doesn't remain wet. Then you take a glass of olive oil with your brush and you coat the entire focaccia with olive oil. Mamma mia, guys. In Italy we do not scrimp out on olive oil. You must understand this. And then what I like to do is I like to use some scissors to coat it. As you can see, the bottom is cooked. For some reason I can never get the bottom to be very golden, but it comes out very nice. And then see these holes where the water was, these are very moist and raw, while the rest is very crunchy. Now I'll demonstrate this. And how you eat this is you flip it over like this so that this top of the focaccia is on the top of your tongue. Delicious. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you do this at home. Yeah, happy focaccia making. Till next time, huh?